Starting off, though, with awful news, actually, with news that the British Olympic gold medal hopeful dressage rider Charlotte Dujardin has quit the team over claims she mistreated a horse. Now, we're going to show you the video, which we've exclusively obtained from Good Morning Britain, and this reportedly shows her repeatedly whipping a horse in a training session. And just to warn you, some may find this distressing.
This is so shit at hitting them hard.
Now, an investigation by the sports governing body has been launched. So, is it time we stopped using animals in sport? I'm going to come to you, Dens, first.
No, in my opinion. Like everyone who has seen that, nobody can fail to be upset by that unnecessary and cruel treatment of the horse. She says it was an error of judgement. I think it's always that thing that people say when they've got caught out, because nobody knows how long that's been going on in her treatment regime, even though she denies it. So I think she's done the right thing, and so have the Olympic board by her no longer taking part. However, I think that these days, because of trial by social media being so prevalent, there is always a sort of what do you call that? There's an immediate reaction to ban it. Cancel everything. Knee-jerk reaction to cancel everything. So because we've seen this awful treatment of this horse, there is now, should we ban dressage? Should we completely get rid of it? In my opinion, no. Dressage is a beautiful sport. I was very involved in the horsey world for many years when I was young, although I never did dressage. I was around dressage and dressage trainers. I have never seen anything like. Of course, the horse has, you know, there's a certain form of whichever way you're training an animal. But the animals used in dressage that I witnessed were loved and cared for and trained. They were immaculately looked after and were, you know, loved by their trainers, and you could see that the horses loved the trainers.
Well, I mean, I know nothing about horses, slightly afraid of them, I have to say. When you see horses doing dressage and that kind of weird little trot thing that they do, I mean, that's just not a natural way for a horse to behave, is it? So I presume it's got to be, you know, grilled to within an inch of its life to do that. And I know people love, you know, and I'm not about banning anything, but are we being naive in thinking that it doesn't take quite a lot of discipline in order to get horses to behave like that?
I think the thing is, we're kind of using them to make us look great, aren't we? And things like dress. Look how well I've trained this horse. Look how well its neck is bent in, which is not very natural. So I think it's a human thing that we do. However, I agree with Denise that not all trainers of that sport, you know, the vast majority of trainers of that sport aren't like her. They're not.
I mean, they don't whip dogs in crufts, do they? Well, so I imagine...
Who knows until we get a video.
You know, this is the thing. This person has been caught on video doing this. We have for years, none of us knew anything.
But I'm glad that she's out.
So am I. But can I just make a point that I feel that I have to make, is that the headlines all over the papers this week and on television this morning, and we're talking about it and whatever, is about the cruelty to this horse, and I completely understand that. But there is also a beach volleyball player called Colin. I think you've got the name of him there.
I have. Steven van der Velde.
Right, OK. He is representing the Netherlands in beach volleyball. He is an accused and he has been imprisoned rapist. He was 19 years old when he knew that this girl was 12. He raped this girl. He admitted to it. He was given a 4-year sentence, of which he served a year. And he is being supported by the board at the Olympics. And they are saying that we've got everything in place. He's not allowed to mix with... It's like we're talking about violence and women, and we're making headlines of this equestrian situation, which is serious. But nobody seems to be talking front page-wise about what's going on about one here, and I think it's appalling.
Well, I've got a reply here from the Dutch Olympic team. The Netherlands team boss, Peter van der Hoegenband, has defended the decision to take convicted rapist Steven van der Velde to the Paris Olympics. He has said that measures have been taken to facilitate van der Velde's participation at the Games, including a blanket ban on media interviews and housing him away from the athletes' village. We don't have blinkers on and we don't close our eyes. I'm the boss responsible for the whole team, for the athletes. He's just a member of the team. He qualified, and that's why he deserves.
But didn't he also say that the Olympics were a distraction? You know, because the trouble is they draw too much attention, and that ever since he came out of prison, he'd been participating in international sport as though that was OK, and it was just annoying that the Olympics were drawing further attention to the fact that this man had been a rapist.
Judy, you know, back to the equestrian, for instance, what's your...
You know, I think it's a difficult one. It's not a difficult one in that sense, but I think even myself having a pet ethically, when we really think about all these animals, whether it's a pet you have at home, whether it's a horse you're training, whether it's a dog, like, it's all really done on the selfishness of humans, you know? It's all for either our entertainment or for our comfort. You know, even myself having a cat, I think to myself, sometimes I think, oh, my gosh, how do I know she wants to be a pet? How do I know she doesn't want to be in the wild? How do I know, you know? It makes me think about that, so...
Well, you're never cruel to her.
No, never cruel to her, but how do we as humans define what is cruel? And to the animal just having to train, whether you treat them well or not, it's not their natural habitat. So maybe to them, we're saying, oh, this is always to our standards. And sometimes it's not about the animals, it's about what we say is good.
I think most majority of humans know that whipping a horse over 22
times
it's
disgusting.
is cruel. Yeah, so it's good that she's gone out.